locked into the Jake and Joe Bengals Postgame Show. Presented by First Star Logistics. Let's break it down.
Hello, we're here. Thought that was a little bit longer. What's going on, folks? Welcome to another episode of the Jake and Joe Bengals Postgame Show, presented by First Star Logistics. Another fun one for the Cincinnati Bengals today. We'll get into all the highlights, and there were highlights in this game. This is what it should look like, right? That's what we're going to be talking about in this episode of the Postgame Show. 2 straight weeks where, look, if you're starting the starters, you're bringing back the coaching staff, you're as healthy as the Bengals are against these teams that are bad. Should look like this. This one even more comfortable than last week. We'll get into all that in today's episode, and we'll give away some T. Higgins autographed footballs. Your hashtag in the chat if you would like to enter for a chance to win a ball signed by T. Higgins. It's hashtag First Star Logistics 1, the number 1. Hashtag First Star Logistics 1 in the chat for a chance to win that T. Higgins autograph ball. Make sure you're following at First Star Log on Twitter for all of the details about our giveaways. Next week, we've got a Nintendo Switch. It's got some Bengals theme to it, as you've seen on the sidebar if you're watching on YouTube as well. So some awesome giveaways this week. And we're going to dive into a game where, besides Geno Stone, the tackling was improved. And the offense, like at times, I said this a couple times during the game, it looked really easy for them, which is what you should expect it to look like against the Arizona Cardinals. As always, we're presented by our fantastic partners, First Star Logistics. They give away awesome stuff for you all year. They're an awesome partner for Joe and I. If you're looking for work in the Cincinnati area, First Star Logistics is looking to expand their brokerage department. You can see all of their job postings at firststarlogistics.com to see if you are a good fit for one of the fastest growing and best companies to work for in the Cincinnati area. Joe, first reactions here as Joe Burrow finishes over 300 yards, Chase Brown over 100 yards. The touchdown spread is 2 for Jamar Chase, 2 for Chase Brown, 1 for Samaje Perine. The defense doesn't get a takeaway, but racks up 4 total sacks, and the net yards per attempt for the Cardinals pretty poor. Trey McBride contained while the starters were out there. What was your top takeaway as you watched today?
No, you beat around it, I think, in the opening. And we said this in the preview show, right? Like, if you're starting your starters, if everyone's coming back, if you're telling us there's improvement on defense, if you're telling us momentum matters into carrying it into the offseason, whatever, then you need to go blow these teams out. You need to go handle business, look like you're a cut or 2 above these teams, above the Dolphins, above the Cardinals, above the Browns next week, to be honest, as well, even though the Browns are playing really hard. And a lot of teams, there are upsets around the league too. So a lot of these teams aren't just laying down like you would think, especially against some other playoff opponents. I mean, the other night, the Chiefs almost beat the Broncos, or at least brought it down to the final couple of minutes. The Ravens, with their backup quarterback, just beat the Packers in pretty convincing fashion last night or the night before, whatever it was. But so they're not just laying down. I understand these are end of the year dead cat bounce scenarios, and they're doing it. They are bouncing, but they're doing it in convincing fashion to the point where I think you get 2 types of fans. Number one, the fan that goes, see, now the Bengals aren't going to do anything because they're saying, we told you the team is really good, even though these games mean nothing. Where I go on the other side and say, see, you're close enough that if you make the necessary moves, you can win this offseason and get this team back where it needs to be in 2026. And I think, however way you fall on that, it is what it is. But I tend to look at these games from that perspective.
There's always some frustration that comes with games like this, right? Where it's like, yeah, they should have been doing this all year. They should have done this against the New York Jets. The Bears end up being in contention for the 1 seed in the NFC. The Bengals should have won that game. And if they had taken care of those games, with Pittsburgh losing today, the frustrating thing about it is that the Bengals would just need to win next week, and then they're in the playoffs and they sneak
9 wins. We know for sure does it.
9 wins is going to win the AFC North, right? That's guaranteed. What if they tie? What happens?
Well, then it's 8.5 wins.
So 9 or 8.5 wins. If the Bengals had gotten to 9 wins, which by all accounts they should have this year. Oh yeah, we got Jesse. Jesse's on one here. Don't tell us the defense is good. Here we go with the nobody's telling you this team is good, man. They didn't do the things. We're saying if they had done the things that they didn't do, get it through your head. We're not saying they're good.
Jake's animated on this one. You're right.
Leave me alone.
They're a
Wow.
6-win team right now. We know how bad they are. We're not telling you this is a good team. We're not saying that. We're saying they should have been a good team. They should have done the things necessary. They should have won the games necessary. And we would be having a little bit more fun because these 3 games were never changing. They don't give you 3 easy games at the end of the schedule because you've only got 4 wins going into this portion of the season. No, we would have been sitting here going, we've got the easiest stretch of our schedule to finish this season for the Bengals to go into the playoffs. This is who's on the schedule. They're handling the business that is in front of them.
Yeah, and that's the standard. The Pittsburgh Steelers actually can win 10 games. So miss that detail as well. They're 9-7 now. So they can win 10 games. That is a good point. Let's get to the game itself. The standard is that you blow out these teams that are bad when you play them late in the season. The Bengals blew out a team that was bad when they played it late in the season. This one, not even remotely as close as the Miami game, where in the first half, there's like, maybe it'll be competitive. Mike McDaniel's doing some Mike McDaniel things or getting the Bengals a little bit. Arizona never really looked like they had a ton of life in this game. There was one play that Geno Stone misses a tackle. He missed 3 of the 4 Bengals missed tackles, I believe, in this game. Oren Burks had the other one, according to initial PFF charting.
Well, I thought Carter had one too, but that's all right.
He might have. PFF initial charting always ends up changing a little bit, but in their initial charting, they got Geno Stone for 3, Cedric Johnson for 2 late. I think those were both sacks. Isaiah Foskey for 1. That was also a sack. They got TJ Slayton for 1 that I didn't see, and Oren Burks for 1. So ends up with some more missed tackles down the stretch there. A lot of those on sack attempts from some Bengals in this game. But back to the topic at hand, where you meet the standard is when it does look easy. And a lot of the game for Joe Burrow, when he was protected, especially, I mean, the splits for Burrow when he was protected in this game, and there were protection issues more than I thought there should have been. But when Burrow was protected in this game, he was 23 of 24 for 293 yards, 12.2 yards per attempt, and 2 touchdowns. 96% completions for 12.2 yards per attempt when he was clean. That's really good. Wasn't so good when he was pressured today. He was pressured on 10 of his 35 dropbacks, with just 1 of 7 on pressured dropbacks today. That's something that he's generally better at. The nature of the pressures today was that a lot of them were also relatively late pressures. It seemed like coverage pressures to me more than anything.
Agreed. Yep.
And I thought Joe Burrow was really good today. Really clinical, made it easy for his receivers. I think the Cardinals defense made it easy for him at times. And you can even go back to the first touchdown of the game. Like, at first I thought this was a called running play, because they'll a lot of times flip this out to Jamar Chase on
off
called
coverage.
Look
at that. Yeah.
But this is just Joe Burrow sees, I got off coverage there. I wonder if this is an alert for coverage that's this far off and there's no safety on this side of the field.
They are all to the right, huh?
So the Cardinals really respecting the strong side of the formation here, where you got 4 guys to the right. So when you get this look, Burrow's just counting. And the reason you know this is a passing play is because you see the offensive lineman pass setting. And the reason they run this play is because Jamar Chase can often make 1 guy miss. Then you get 5 yards. But sometimes he can make multiple guys miss, and you just break off a touchdown that is just kind of free.
And I think last week we started to touch on the subject. Like, it didn't feel like Jamar was making guys miss as much. They went through a stretch of last week's game where it felt like they couldn't get a lot after the catch. And then, this is on the heels of Jamar going his longest stretch without a touchdown. And it was like, bam, there you are, Jamar. And he looked like the relief came off of him too when he got in the end zone, which I appreciated as well. He ended up scoring twice today.
Yeah, look at this spike. Look at that. Look at the head. Like, that thing came off the ground.
Did he say I'm back? It looked like he's melted. I'm back.
Back in the end zone, because he's had good games.
Yeah,
it's not like he's
for sure
been bad, but it must be gratifying for him to score. Because what did he have? He had only 5 touchdowns coming into this game. Is that right?
Yep, correct.
Nice for him to add 2 to that total. Gives himself a chance to get to 10 this year, get to double digits. It was a fun game for the Bengals. I thought that a lot of highlights to get through here. We can keep going on the touchdowns.
Okay.
This is the Samaje Perine touchdown. This is the taste of Cody Ford that you get early here. They were doing
offensive linemen.
A lot of interesting looks today. extra lineman looks, some 13 personnel, 2 linemen, 2 tight ends here with
shout out to Fairchild as well, who's scraping over him. When you watch it watch how many times he gets contacted and still gets around and gets to his spot, which that play probably doesn't work if he doesn't.
the end zone angle really good on this one. They showed on the broadcast. I don't think I have it, but the broadcast did a good job of drawing attention to how difficult it is in close proximity to actually pull effectively here. And he does pull effectively, like a really long developing short yardage play for like a 1 yard touchdown run, but
For sure.
executed
Both the
quite well
touchdown
here.
runs for this one and then the one for Brown, the second touchdown, I want to say, or was it the first one? Either way, he had a nice block, really nice block, I think, on Calais Campbell on the other touchdown run.
Fairchild on the second touchdown run. We will look at that one later. I think it was the second one. No, it was the first one. It was from further out. It was the first one because he got like 7 yards of vertical displacement on Calais Campbell. And it was nice to see that because Calais was getting him a little bit in the pass rush early in this game. And Fairchild settled in, I thought, answered well. The run blocking, I thought, in general, in these short yardage situations was really nice to look at. Just the
really 1 3rd and 1
execution.
Second drive where then Burrow ended up QB sneaking it. Was the only time they really got stuffed.
And that drive looked really clean until that point. It looked very workmanlike. They even only ran the ball. Did you count the number of runs on 2nd and long today? Because they started the game with it.
2. I had.
And it got me on that first game. Or that first drive, the second play of the game, 2nd and 10 run.
Yep.
After Joe Burrow throws a pass that ends up deflected on the first drive, I was like, uh-oh. And they settled him pretty quick after that.
Yeah, he goes, high completion rate the rest of the game.
This is a good look at Chase Brown, too. Chase Brown was really good today, I thought. Good vision, good cutbacks.
Are you showing something right now?
Movement.
There it is.
And shout out to Zim Hude, by the way, who did a good job of once again posting clips today, but breaking a lot of tackles. Chase Brown, a lot of good cuts, a lot of missed tackles for us today for Chase Brown.
Can we just say he's good now? Do you see the comments every week when like he doesn't have a big run in the first 2 drives? People start getting angsty about it. Like, his vision's terrible. There was a play where Jamar thought he should have cut out after he broke to the 2nd level. Jamar ends up not blocking anyone, but you could see him being animated towards Chase. Like, dude, you were gone. And people start having reactions. And then all of a sudden, 2 drives later, Chase Brown's got 100 yards in the first half, and it's like he's got a great game going again. I think we can comfortably say he is a good running back. It doesn't mean he's perfect, but he's a very good player.
He's a great running back. There's a lot of great running backs in NFL right now. I'm not saying that he's one of the best running backs in the league. I think he's probably, top 15? He's in the top half. There's a lot of really good running backs in the league right now. He had 5 missed tackles forced in this game, according to PFF charting. He had 69 of his 100 rushing yards. I thought he had 101, but they have it at 100 after contact. I assume he also had some missed tackles forced as a receiver because he had that
at least one
18-yard catch that I assumed came with a missed tackle forced. And I'm going to see if I can find that now, according to PFF charting. And he had 3 missed tackles forced as a receiver. So a total of 8 broken tackles in this game on 25 touches for Chase Brown. Goes for 140 yards of total offense and 2 touchdowns. Pretty good game for Chase Brown in this one. It was a complete game too. I just want to show this one special teams play because this was an awesome return. Just the wherewithal to pick this up. It was a bad kick in the first place. Get the clean hop to you and just hit the ground running. Stick your foot in the ground, get upfield. Really good return here for Keyshawn.
I've been happy with him. He will run through contact. He's not actually like getting too many yards after contact, but he's running full steam through it. Like he doesn't really care. He's fighting for his football life.
Yeah, he's still small, right? Like he's not winning by, running through tackles and shrugging off arm tackles, things like that. Like you get hands on him, he's going down, and there are a lot of hands on him there. But really, really good football instincts here to just pick up this kick and make guys look stiff. And Arizona had a lot of guys that looked like they just couldn't move in this game.
They looked unathletic in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
It's rare that we have that from the opposite perspective, right? Like a lot of times we'll come out of a game like, man, the Bengals look stiff today. They look slow. They look like they're running in mud. This time it was the Cardinals that looked, woefully outmatched.
And this leads to the touchdown for Jamar Chase, the second touchdown of the day for him. This is one of the plays where it's just like, man, this looks so easy for Joe. Like, you got Jamar Chase in the slot, you got the corner off, so
Off
he's
and
going to do
outside.
off outside leverage. You know exactly what coverage you're getting here. I know that they like to talk about how well the Cardinals disguise here and how the Cardinals show this coverage to shell coverage. Quite often people call it shell coverage, and I don't like that terminology, but that's what people call it.
They said they're calling it tent coverage if you listen to the broadcast, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah. But you get outside leverage from an off corner here. I mean, this is just so easy. Joe knows where this ball is going immediately. There's no help. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that's got to just be so easy for him.
And this is the easy button stuff that in the Zach Taylor, Joe Burrow era that is different. Because when we talk easy button, we're typically talking the play action, easy, wide open, easy, to the flat that no one's getting covered because the defense is dealing with misdirection. This is the easy button stuff we see in this offense that is different than other offenses. Not too many teams are running this complete spread them out, full passing menu offense and getting advantageous situations for their number one receiver in a situation like that.
Manufacturing this matchup for Jamar Chase is pretty impressive here, I think. And I mean, it's not the most complicated thing in the world. You got T. Higgins down here.
That's what it is.
You got Mike Gesicki here, so clear passing strength on the right side, right? You got Trips and your three best receivers on the right side. You got Chase Brown in a stack with Andre Yosevich on the left side. I don't even know what they were.
I think it's just the 5-wide element of it that really forced them to back off and protect.
Yeah, it forces you to show what you're doing, and this is what Joe Burrow's always been good at. When he knows what you're doing, he's going to find the right guy to get the ball to. They're going to pick up yards. The other one that really stood out to me is like really easy was when the Bengals were backed up after the awesome punt from the Cardinals punter pinned them back at like the 2-yard line. They tried to drop a defensive end out. That might have even been that was on a different drive. The quick out to Gesicki though on that drive, just he knew that end was dropping out. I'm pretty sure, and he's really good with the timing on that play. Really good with the accuracy on that play. You can see the defensive lineman be like, "Oh, this is the window that I'm dropping into. I can get a hand out and disrupt it." And he's just like, "Oh no, I can't. I got no chance." And
great example of the receivers you need to pair with Burrow because Gesicki has to understand what's happening as well. As soon as he sees that bail out, he has to assume the DN's probably dropping there as well. Turn, hitch, expect that ball. You're not going to see it leave Burrow's hands. You're going to turn around. That thing's going to be halfway between you and the quarterback at that time.
Yeah. Anything else you wanted to hit on the offense here today, Joe? We saw the offensive line wilt a little bit when Amarius Mims left and then come back together when Amarius Mims re-entered the game. I thought the offensive line was largely pretty good today. There were a couple pressures that you wouldn't like to see. The Samaje Perine pressure, which was either him or Cody Ford. That was when Cody Ford was in the game. The broadcast was speculating about who was responsible there. And Fairchild, I think, got twice by Calais Campbell, who's probably the only good defensive player.
Can we have Calais Campbell this offseason, or is that drum beaten to death?
He only plays in the warm. Yeah, Arizona, Miami, Tampa. Those are the only
Baltimore.
Options.
But
that was weird.
My other points is we got more different looks. We got more 2 running back looks, again, out of different formations. Early too, and out of not just obvious running situations. There was a passing play where both of them were the 2 backs protecting Burrow. We also got Tanner Hudson as a running back that he ended up leaking out and getting a catch from that. We got the 2 jumbo O linemen, so 7 O lineman sets. I like seeing things like that, even though we're in a lost section of the season now. But it shows that they still have some tricks that they can dig up.
I think they were asked in preparation for this game by someone in the media this week about them just like trying stuff a little bit, tinkering a little bit late in the season. Zach was talking about the balance there, and they did that in this game. I feel like we saw more naked stuff from Joe Burrow, like play action boot stuff from Joe Burrow,
wide zone under center
drive or 2 of the game than we typically see from him in an entire game. There may have been a couple others they went to in this game. We had someone send us a message asking if there was more under center, more motion in this game. I noticed it early. I didn't necessarily notice it throughout the game. So that's something that perhaps you can pay attention to on film review. And then they also just like executed their double teams really well. This is the play where Fairchild gets Campbell 7 yards downfield, which is why I wanted to look at this game. This is a touchdown run for Chase Brown here. Everyone here executes, I think. On
Similar to last week's touchdown for Chase Brown, right? On that running play.
Yeah, I don't remember what the play was. This looks like duo to me, but who knows? Maybe someone will pop in and tell me that it's inside zone or something like that.
Right.
Either way, you got two double teams. So Karras is helping to displace Campbell horizontally so Fairchild can get him squared up, drive him upfield. Then Karras is going to release to the second level. You got Amarius Mims and Riser getting a double team on the other tackle here. And the kick out block from Drew Sample on the end. And Andre Josevich getting in there from his tight alignment to go dig out a safety at the second level. And the double teams work really well here. That just bump from Karras and then the drive from Dylan Fairchild here. So from this point, just watch Dylan Fairchild against the best player on this Arizona defense. This Calais Campbell rep goes pretty poorly for Calais Campbell. I mean, you get him 5 yards downfield before he's able to disengage. That's pretty impressive.
That's a great block from a rookie lineman that, had an up and down day, but these are the flashes. When we talk about like rookie linemen, especially interior, play at an average level at best, that's like that's the result. That's the end of the game. In the game, sometimes there's some downs and there's some ups. The ups are worth it. It's why he's not Cordell Volson or Michael Jordan, right? Because like these flashes and these consistent level plays are like, man, so good. And shout out Chase Brown there as well. He sucks those linebackers in and then bounces it out and they got no shot at all. Yeah, the end zone angle shows us. Watch those linebackers trigger, and then he just cuts, follows the hole behind Fairchild, while also the safety's trying to come up and make a play there. Jalen Thompson, I believe, who is a free agent, and it would be an interesting player.
I don't know who any of the players on the Arizona defense are besides Calais Campbell, Joe.
Thompson's a solid player, actually.
I know who some of them are. They're very hurt. That's definitely a part.
Will Johnson, I thought, was impressive as well in his moments.
He got a couple times, but it was probably their best corner. I mean, he's a rookie. What do you expect to see Higgins and Jamar Chase?
Exactly, like we said about rookies. Yep.
Yeah. Akeem Davis-Gaither also made a few plays. Had a little bit of a revenge game.
Josh Sweat didn't do anything. That was nice. I assume Orlando Brown will have a decent day. He had a nice run block on the one long Chase Brown run too, Orlando Brown. So we haven't had too many opportunities to shout out him in the run game. And he had a good one today.
Didn't really notice Orlando today outside of one play, which means he was really good outside of this one play. But there's one play that Joe is extending, buying time, and Orlando Brown is walking. You don't love to see that. But outside of that, he was good. So don't mean to draw attention to the one time I noticed him. Let's get to the defense. Actually, one more play on the offense because
Cody Ford.
A couple more plays on the offense. We'll finish with Cody Ford because that was sweet. Three more plays on the offense. I got some things that I want to show here. There's a lot to look at in this game.
There's a lot. Let's do it. I don't care. I got time.
The game doesn't matter, but it's fun, right? So Samaje Perine leaves the game with what looks like a pretty gnarly lower leg injury. Like it's either knee or ankle. Like it looks like, but this guy is so tough. This guy. I know we talk a lot about how tough Joe Burrow is. I don't think anyone is tougher than Samaje.
Is Perine number 2? Can we have a tough power rankings in the offseason?
I think Samaje is 1.
Oh, you think he's more than Burrow? I wonder what Burrow would say because he would never say himself.
I think this dude's remarkably tough. But he comes back into the game. And the Cardinals try to blitz here. And doesn't go very well for the DB. Joe Burrow very late. Moves Samaje back across the formation.
I don't even know if he did. I thought Perine may have done that himself. I think so because it was super quiet. You could hear them really well. And as he was checking and before, if we had the TV copy from the side, and you could hear them talking, and then he just does that.
You can see, you kind of see that look.
Oh, little flinch there, yeah.
No, like right here. He's like, oh, you're on the other side now. Maybe. Possible. I wouldn't expect Samaje to freelance this, to be honest, with this many guys on the line of scrimmage.
Right.
That'd be kind of crazy because now you got 4 over 3 on the left side here.
Right. He had to have known this guy's coming, right? That's the only way because he's getting ready, but he still double checks to the right first before
he's looking right. He's watching. Yeah. He's like, okay, if that guy drops, and as soon as he drops, all right, now I can get my eyes here. This is coming on the other side. It's a really good play from Samaje Perine.
He's good. He's good at what he does.
Once he gets back up, gives him another shove.
we've watched Gio Bernard be a really good pass protecting back, but Pirine brings that density with it that like he can just lay people out so much more. Mentally, they're probably comparable in picking things up, but Pirine's density and strength just it's fun.
I'm a big Samaje Perine fan, and I have been for a while. People try to tell me that he wasn't very good, and it was fine that he left. The Bengals wanted him back. I think
they missed him.
I think they missed him. Second to last play we're going to look at. This is an awesome angle. That's why I wanted to look at this one. This is just a great angle from Lindsey Patterson, who has some pretty nice seats with her family. Just a nice angle of the touchdown run here. You got Lucas Patrick in motion. They took Cody Ford off the field. They're booing at Paycor because they want Cody Ford to get a fullback dive.
Pirine's the lead back on this, right? The fullback?
It appears that he is. And he can do that.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason that he can't.
He did with Joe Mixon at Oklahoma.
And he doesn't do a great job there. But he managed to contact the guy that he was meant to target or meant to contact. All right, let's look at Cody Ford. Cody Ford, happy birthday.
Yeah.
I had some negative tweets about you at tackle in this game, but that's because you've been a wide receiver your whole life. And for some reason, these NFL teams, these idiots, are trying to play Cody Ford at tackle. When really, should be playing wide receivers whole life. You can't play this soft on Cody Ford out here. What are you doing?
They're going to learn.
This is crazy.
Yeah. And you know what's funny to me is I love Burrow's reaction. I don't know if you saw it as they're going to commercial, and he's just, as he's watching Ford rumble down the field. But I'm sure they're going to ask Burrow in the post-game press conference. I wouldn't be surprised if this is exactly what Burrow says. He wasn't the main progression, but I got to him and I said, screw it, throw it to him. He's open. And he plucks that ball out, turns up field smooth. I mean, we watch tight ends. We watch tight end prospects and we go, man, this guy really turns up field quickly after the catch. Cody Ford looked like a good tight end prospect turning up field.
Zach Taylor said the Cody Ford play has only been in the playbook for a week. They practice it. He caught it in practice. They knew his birthday was going to be today. Paul Daner tweeted while he was sitting in Zach's presser that he could hear Cody chants coming from the locker room. So the whole locker room behind Cody Ford. And for all we say about Cody Ford, right? Because we say a lot about
they love
Cody
him,
Ford
as a person.
They really like the way he shows up, and you can see some of that stuff coming through here. And as several people have pointed out, and Tom 5988 points out in the chat, Cody Ford with more receptions and yards, obviously, this year than Jermaine Burton for the Bengals as a receiver.
Yep, that's true.
Pretty sweet play from Cody Ford. You just can't play that far off Cody Ford. It's pretty simple. I lied. We got one more play on offense. Because before we started recording, we had people wondering about Joe Burrow pushing the ball downfield. Underthrew T. Higgins for sure on the out and up earlier in the game on the first drive. That should have been a touchdown. Or at the very least, an explosive play. And I think he was late more than it was underthrown. So I think that leads to it being underthrown. But it'll be interesting to see that one again on tape to see about the timing of it. It looks like he was late. It looked like he kind of realized it and then tried to throw it late. This one, I think, is a good throw. But
it is.
What are your thoughts here, Joe?
So he's getting a cover 2 scenario, right? You got the safety over the top, and he's got to drop it between them. You can either fire it and rifle it through there, which we've seen him do. He doesn't do it as much as like a Josh Allen, right? You got to have a cannon arm to be able to really rifle it in there. Or you throw it with good arc and accuracy, and I think that's what he did here to lay it between two defenders. Like, ideally, can you lead him up the field? I don't think you can because the safety is going to get over and make a play on it. You really got to fit it between the two of them, and he does here.
Yeah, I think that's a really tight window. I also think that Joe sees the hips of the safety and knows that he has to flip his hips and turn out to the sideline here, and that's what gives him the window. I'm guessing. I'm supposing that Burrow, he talks about how he reads body language. He thinks that he has this window because of the orientation of the safety with his hips and eyes on the backfield, but hips pointed toward Mike Gesicki. And I wonder if this is four verts. The Bengals have been going back to some four vert stuff lately, which they haven't done a ton of, and interesting to see that.
And if you think there's a delay in his processing to get to this, four verts, you have to like read it through, because that safety, the way he turned inside first and the way the corner went outside first, I wouldn't be surprised if he saw that and thought, what are they doing? Okay, that's it.
This is also a 7-step drop, I think. It was either 7 or 9. It was a
One of the
really
two
deep
were.
drop.
Yeah.
And they don't usually do 7-step drops. And he does hit his back foot and throw it. But yeah, 7-step drop. It looked weird. It like stood out to me as I was watching live, to the point that I DM'd our good friend Mike Santaga to be like, was that a 9-step drop? Wasn't.
Right.
I don't think. I think it was 7. But it stood out because that's a really deep drop from shotgun.
The commentary was so good on this. He goes, these are the faces we expected to see all year with Joe. Well, maybe not that face.
All right, let's talk about this defense, Joe. Which,
Yep, let's do it.
Overall, while the starters were out there, by the time the game ended, the Cardinals ended up putting together one garbage time drive. But the Cardinals, in their last 10 games or so, their losing streak, last 6 games since week 10. I said last 10 games. They've been like below average on offense, but they've been okay. And I tweeted the stats. They were at like a minus 0.02 EPA per play. That's where they ended up finishing today, but they were at minus 0.2, not 0.02 before the Bengals pulled their starters. They were down like 10% in success rate today versus what they've been doing the last 6 games. So this is a team that is down. Don't get us wrong here. But the defense did make some plays today, and it's highlighted by Dax Hill, who we don't have a bunch of clips of.
He was great.
But Dax was awesome today, had at least 2 PBUs, I think 3.
I
PFF,
agree.
I think
I
only
would have
charted
said 3.
2. And only gave up the 1 catch, which was a weird looking play. I don't know if I've ever Dax look that stiff on the inbreaker that he did give up.
I thought maybe there should have been someone in the middle, the way he was so leaning and fading outside.
It's possible. But Dax was really good in this game. TJ Turner only got targeted, twice?
They don't target TJ anymore. Like, that's it. Offense is like, that's enough. And if you watch the film and not just the targets, like, he is on these guys all the time. They probably see that and like, we're not doing this.
So PFF actually has it at 5 targets.
Oh, because the couple that went out of bounds, I think.
And the touchdown. So they actually put the touchdown on him. They said that he's the one that blew the coverage on Mike Wilson because he carries a vertical that maybe he shouldn't. We'll see if that stands up after PFF's review. That'll be interesting to watch on film too, because there was a bust there. That was a coverage bust straight up. So
yeah.
But yeah, Dax Hill targeted 6 times, 2 catches allowed according to PFF, 24 yards. And Barrett Carter caught 4 targets, 2 catches on those 4 targets, 11 yards. So pretty good from a stat line there. The initial grade for Demetrius Knight, 81.
I was going to say Knight and Carter. I haven't looked at these yet, Jake. I was going to say Knight and Carter felt like they had their best combined effort of the season.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't miss tackles unless Barrett Carter missed 1. But PFF didn't charge them with missed tackles. They also had a number of plays in like the screen game around the line of scrimmage. That was pretty good.
The run defense was fantastic as a whole, and they're involved, obviously.
Miles Murphy, once again, 3 stops. Really, really in a Sam Hubbard era.
He
right?
is.
Like even the sack. And do we have the sack? Surely we have the sack.
I posted it.
So sack.
We have that too. We have Shamar's.
Let's see if I can find the Miles Murphy sack.
Okay.
I got it. You can talk about it. This is your clip. Here you go.
Yeah, so Murphy, this is going to be a coverage sack again. They're chipping him. So, he's the only guy really producing lately for a pass rush for the Bengals. He's going to eventually swim inside. I can't wait to see the coverage downfield because obviously Brissett, I felt like all day today, was going through his multiple reads, no one open. But this is what I like about Miles and what we're seeing more and more. When he shoots his gun, when he pulls that trigger, dude looks super fast, man. And he always has been. But it's nice to see it. And he almost rips that ball at the end. But he looks like a freak athlete when he goes straight line. Yeah.
And he has a nice late win with his hands here. Like you said, he draws the chip, the double team, and he gets the tackle's hands off him to give him the chance to track down the quarterback.
Yeah.
I feel like Miles Murphy in the past isn't getting those hands off him. And that has been the step we've seen from him this year. It's not like they're winning a bunch of pass rush reps. You know, we go look at the pass rush data, the initial pass rush data from PFF, and this changes a lot. I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't even talk about this stuff because it changes.
It didn't feel like they won a lot.
Yeah. But the overall win rates today, Isaiah Foskey, 30%. Got in there late and won.
He did.
30% of his pass rushing reps, had 13 total pass rushing reps. Miles Murphy, they had at 16%. Cam Sample, they had at 16%. Shamar, they had at 10%. And on true pass sets, that number is 13% for Shamar and 7.5%, meaning one win, essentially, I think. Doing quick math. Yeah, one win for Miles Murphy on true pass sets. But this was a good one. Coverage really held up in this game, though. Like, it was evident from the way DBs were making plays on the ball, the way that Brissett's holding the ball. Brissett had a, like 50-something percent completion percentage. Maybe it went up on the garbage time drive, but earlier it was quite low. And coverage really forcing a lot of the pressures, I thought, today.
Yeah, I'm with you completely. And that was the case with Shamar's sack as well. And I even thought I think Shamar had 3 pressures based on what I saw. The one may not count because the Seth Johnson got held on this play.
Yeah. He also got held, by the way.
Yeah. Shamar did at the very end. Yeah. And but when they were using Shamar sparingly for the first half, I thought he looked explosive again, because last week he did not. And he really didn't start where he wore down quickly today. They had to get him out of the game in like the third quarter, because there was like 8 plays in a row. He is gasping. He is asking to get off, and they're not taking him off. They're like, no, you fight through this thing. You get out there. But he couldn't do anything. So his pass rush win rate probably going to be much lower than I felt. This felt like his best game, just from a power and explosion perspective.
He also played a ton of 3-tech in this game.
Yep.
He had 12 B-gap snaps, 23 snaps outside the tackle, 5 snaps over the tackle. So he had 17 snaps. 17 snaps where he wasn't playing end. He might have been reduced for some of those over tackle snaps, but he had a couple where he was. They had 3 guys on one side, and they might have charted him at over tackle. At least 12 snaps at DT for Shamar in this game. And he got his first sack.
He did.
So he will not be sackless as a rookie. The tackles were terrible for the Cardinals. I thought the Bengals probably should have beaten them a little bit more than they did, but they ended up with 4 sacks. So,
I still came away this game thinking the defense played well. The linebackers had probably their best combined game together. The secondary was good, other than Geno Stone missing that huge tackle again, and three tackles total. But the corners were really good again. And I still came away with this game. Run defense is good, so there's a lot of things to talk about. But I still came away saying they really still need pass rushers big time. Like, it's just not, they're 2 or 3 pass rushers short of being a championship level defense.
Yeah, and I don't think we're changing our tune on the need for improvement at linebacker either.
I would like a veteran, a good player.
There's a pretty clear offseason plan for the defense, right? It's try to figure out your pass rush, improve your pass rush a little bit. It's replace Geno Stone, find somebody good, whatever route you take. It's improve linebacker. Because maybe those guys hit at linebacker, but you want to have an option in case they don't hit. And Oren Burks isn't the guy. It wouldn't appear that he's the guy. So one veteran linebacker.
And it's a value position. You can sign linebackers for relatively cheap.
Yeah. And they have so much money that they could hypothetically get whoever they want. But these guys often don't hit too. But yeah, very clearly a safety, a linebacker, a pass rusher. Ideally 2 pass rushers. Chat's right. Yes. Ideally 2 pass rushers.
Yeah.
But
give me a D tackle and a D end.
The defense, if they can do those things, you feel really good about their corners.
And that's for the draft too. Corners. You can go in the draft and add another premium talent.
Yeah.
At any position, because you're just like, hey, we'll figure it out. He'll play.
What happened to Tankathon today, Joe? Did you?
I do have Tankathon. If you've got, I do. The Bengals are currently sitting at 10th overall. They dropped 1 spot.
Kansas City.
Behind Kansas City, but the Saints, we got a lot of wins though. The Saints won. The Dolphins beat the Bucks, because we should beat the Bucks in terms of strength of schedule, so we should be right there. They got 7 wins, plus they make it their 8th next week against the Cardinals. We're in good shape.
Tampa's at 5:30. The Bengals are at 5:20.
So the latest the Bengals can pick now is going to be more than likely 13, but mathematically I think it's 12. So we're in between 10 and 12 at this point going into the final week.
Probably still 12. The Browns also won today. I'm really not looking forward to that matchup next week. The Browns defense
I don't even know if they should play their starters next week.
Zach said that they will.
Okay.
Zach said that Joe Burrow will play in the season finale against Cleveland. I am not a fan of that, to be honest. I was fine with it in these 2 games because these teams do not have defenses that put a lot of stress on the quarterback. And he took more hits in the last 2 games than I would like him to have taken.
Miles didn't get that sack, did he?
And Miles didn't get the sack. Cleveland's defense has been really good, though. Like, I know Cleveland has been a disaster of a football team, but the defense has been one of the best 5 defenses in the NFL, up there with like Seattle and Houston. These defenses that are playoff defenses.
And Harold Fannon's a problem. Did you see his touchdown catch today? I mean, dude's good. He's a good
He also
rookie.
was injured and left the game. So we'll see.
Because he fell really hard on that.
Yeah, didn't see anything about what the injury was. Just saw that he left the game with injury. You want a funny PFF grading fact?
Sure.
The highest graded Bengals receiving grade today is Cody Ford.
Nice.
Nice. We got anything else to get to here, Joe, before we get to our giveaway?
No, I think we touched on everything that we need to. We even talked special teams. Ryan Rico also had one downed in the one. A lot of backup and depth guys, I thought, despite the Cardinals getting a drive down and scoring, I thought they did really good against Trey McBride as a whole, despite him racking up enough points to win you a championship as he should have against this Bengals defense. Guys like DJ Ivey, Isaiah Foskey at the end making plays, which is nice to see. Also, special teams. I've been really watching special teams kickoff last week. We shouted out Jordan Battle with 3 tackles. Joe Giles Harris is a blast to watch on kickoffs.
He's really good on special teams. He has been all year. Yeah, you understand why
they have a lot of good special teamers. Special teamers this year has been a strength of the team.
Yeah. Coverage guys?
I think in general, they're kicking, right? The field goals are back on track. Rico is at least a booming punter. Their kick coverage, their punt coverage, they haven't given up too many explosive returns on either side.
Yeah.
And they've had a kick return for a touchdown. They should have had a punt return for a touchdown that got called back.
Too much holding on special teams, says Nate.
Yeah.
They had 2 today. That happens a lot for a lot of teams. Maybe it's, I don't know. I would have to compare it across the league. I have no idea if they're holding more than anyone else. Somebody in the
don't
chat
get
also,
penalized in general anyways. So if we just looked at that.
It's one of the things that Zach Taylor's teams have always been really good at, especially when Joe Burrow is playing. The offense doesn't have penalties when Joe's out there, especially when Joe's out there. They're generally a very unpenalized team. They're probably, again this year, bottom 3 in penalties.
I would bet they are. When I last looked, they were 4th, and that was like 6 weeks ago. So.
Yeah, and it's been better since then, I believe. Somebody also asked, where would the Bengals be picking if they only have 4 wins, if they didn't pick up these 2 meaningless wins?
I can answer that if you are that.
It would be 8th. So they'd be picking 2 spots earlier because there are 2 teams that are 4-12, and then there are 3 teams that are 6-10. The Bengals have the highest strength of schedule of the teams that have 4 wins. So they would
only cost them 2 spots
8th. So far.
Yeah, so far. You're right. They could end up 13th or 12th. More than likely.
Yeah, because who does Atlanta play next week? That's a big one. They haven't played this week either.
So Atlanta and Saints have to win. One of them has to win next week. It does work. I did do this lookout, and I said 12 is the latest, even though mathematically they could get to 13.
Probably 12. That's where I've been for the last couple of weeks looking at it. Because I still expect, if they're going to play their guys next week, I still expect them to beat Cleveland. Maybe not. Maybe they get embarrassed against Cleveland because Cleveland has good defense and the Bengals defense can be got. Yeah.
And the strength of schedule is close enough with KC that a few things the rest of this week and next week could make it if KC beats the Raiders, but we're getting in the weeds.
And KC probably will beat the Raiders are out tanking the Chiefs. Both teams are doing a great job of tanking. And the Raiders, I think, are doing a better job.
Chiefs really know how to tank when the opportunity is there, huh?
I mean, you lose 2 quarterbacks. It makes it a lot easier. I'll tell you that.
That's true. If we were starting Jake Browning, we're losing these games as well.
Yeah, I think so. Just trying to see if we got any Joe Burrow quotes from his presser about the Cody Ford play. I don't see any. So let's give away some T. Higgins football. T. Higgins was solid today. Quiet game. No touchdowns, but I thought could have had one. We talked about the deep ball that was late and underthrown a little bit.
I feel like they've been rotating him since he got back.
Yeah, I wonder.
Do you have a snap count there? It has felt that way. And where they're like, okay, you know what? I understood last week they didn't practice T every day. So like let Mitch Tinsley and Yoshi take those snaps that they practiced in. But then this week it felt like they took him out a couple times as well.
Yeah, they did. They had Joe Burrow out there for 64 plays. Jamar was out there for 59 plays. Andre was out there for 54 plays. And T. Higgins was out there for 44 plays. They also moved Amarius Mims and the right guard this week. Looks like he got a break. Dalton Reisner this week.
It was Rivers that
when
went
they
in.
pulled the starting offensive lineman. Cody Ford went back out there at right tackle, and Jalen Rivers got some run at right guard. Notes that maybe only interest me. Let's get to our giveaway. That's what the people are here for.
What they're here for, not for us.
Obviously. We have a Twitter winner. If you follow First Star Log on Twitter, you will see all the details about the awesome First Star Logistics giveaways that we run every week here on the Jake and Joe Postgame Show. We've got awesome stuff this week. Have had awesome stuff all season. When you're giving away autographed footballs and Nintendo Switches and PlayStation 5s and all that stuff, like I don't know how you can do better as a Bengals fan for giveaways and what we're doing here. And we have a winner from X. Wins.
There it is. It is Sunday Bengals 85, SB 85 on Twitter.
Congrats for the first win. Got something for your Bengals display area of your house. Make sure you're checking the comments here on the First Star Logistics YouTube channel for instructions as to how you can claim your prize. And I want to see this one in your house. If you put this one up in your house and you put it in a sweet display area,
send pics.
I want to see where you put it.
Tag me.
Tag Joe and I. Let's see where you put these. Now, for those of you here with us live with the chance to win this T. Higgins autograph football, let's see who gets it.
There's a lot of you in here.
Drum roll is still on. There it is. Didn't quite time it up right. Real close.
Muddlebox.
What a name.
That is a great name.
Muddlebox. Congratulations to Muddlebox. Congratulations to SB85 on winning the T. Higgins autograph footballs. Again, make sure you're checking the comments here on any previous live video we've done or on this episode for instructions on how to claim your prize. We appreciate everyone who hung out with us. It's fun to talk about wins. I know that it damages our draft positioning. I know these games don't matter. It means nothing for 2016. It changes our opinion.
Or 2026 either.
What did I say? 2016,
which is great.
Look, I was in my head again about the tilt that I experienced earlier when I lost it a little bit. I was thinking about that again.
No, it was good. People liked it. I watched the comments while you're doing it.
You can get me if you say the same things enough. Because we hear the same thing quite often. And it does sometimes get a little bit tiresome. We're just trying to talk about the things that are happening with the Cincinnati Bengals. And the changes they need to make are still evident. The changes they're not making are still evident. These are things that we talk about on the midweek show. Make sure you're with us. We did a live last week. That was a lot of fun. Had some giveaways last week. We will not have a live this week. We're back to our regularly scheduled content here as it's our last week of the season, Joe. We're in week 18. One final game to preview. One final game for a post-game show. We've got some Nintendo Switches to give away next week. Again, make sure you're following at First Star Log for all of the giveaway details. And if you're looking for work in the Cincinnati area, we love working with First Star Logistics. This is our second year doing it. We're about to wrap up here. It's been an awesome time for Joe and I. Hopefully an awesome time for you. And if you're looking for work, they are hiring. You can check out all the job postings as they look to expand their brokerage division at firststarlogistics.com, one of the fastest growing and best companies to work for in the Cincinnati area. Until next time, that's going to do it for this episode of the Jake and Joe Bengals Postgame Show presented by First Star Logistics. Thanks to everybody who hung out, and have a good one.
Thanks for watching the Jake and Joe Bengals Postgame Show.